This is a crazy one. Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's Joey Trades back with another banger video, and it's been a really long time since I made any videos or hopped on the channel at all. Realistically, starting SoCal Trading Group and evolving myself around building the sales side of it, generating more outbound reach to create more sales and begin automating kind of the sales process, or at least the lead generation process, right? Running marketing campaigns, targeting different problems and different, I guess, psychological triggers that might trigger an audience or my audience to act and want to interact with the product. Also developing my sales team, training young guys that, are looking for more opportunity, more ambitious, and they want more out of life. Teaching them how to overcome their self-doubt, teaching them how to become more confident, teaching them the game of data, asking enough yes or no's to get enough yeses and know what they're returning on maybe 100 people. If it's a 10%, then we know they have a 10% return rate, right? And we know then we have to ask 1,000 people to get what we would evaluate as a full 100%. So a lot has been happening, bro. A lot of evolving, a lot of new things, income, business, growing my trades. You guys seen on my last video. Let me go ahead and see if anyone's even watched that thing. Well, right now, no one. It's 12 at night. 12/15, March 7th, 2026. It's been an insane day for me. Really one hectic ass fucking week. But let's go ahead and jump into today's video, bro. As everything's been going on with my business, and I've lost well over probably $25,000 in this month alone, or the last 2 months alone, 3 months alone, more specifically is my 3-month P&L for Robinhood. Jesus Christ, been going through hell, right? And managing my month-to-month expenses, cost of living for me, myself, with the luxury apartment, all my cars and insurances and everything, bro. We're probably looking at like roughly 6.6K. So it's a lot of stress, a lot of things that's been going on with my life. But this video is more tailored towards kind of your relationship, dating in this kind of hectic environment as an entrepreneur, as a young 20-year-old. This is a really big aspect of life that I feel like many of us are going to run into. A lot of us are experiencing, especially as we approach our early 20s, now mid-20s. You're going to find the girl. I feel like I have my cat's hair on my face, bro. It's insane. But as you develop, you're going to start creating more income. You're going to get that good job. You're going to get your own apartment. And now you want to build a home for yourself. You're going to start dating. You're going to start meeting new people. And me, bro, like my experience with women, like it's always been good, like I've dealt with infidelity. I've dealt with, being infidelic myself, being infiel, or being, not as loyal myself based on my perception of my partner and what they were doing. So I've learned a lot of lessons, at least from my own experience. You guys got to understand that I'm going to think about women in relationships a little bit different than you because of my experience. And obviously you're going to think about them because of your experience. But I think that as we're young, especially if you're like a confident guy, you got the income, you got some ball rolling, you show that you have like 2 cents in your brain, like you're gonna deal with some different type of women. Me myself, like I deal with a lot of kind of, I wouldn't say a lot, right? Let's go ahead and rephrase that to not disrespect any women out there, but I've dealt with very unique women. For the most part, let's not get into details, but they're women that have other men available to them. Like they're not women that guys aren't trying to get at. That's, I guess, how I'm gonna put it. They're women that are sought after, that if they go out into a public area, someone's gonna try to hit on them. And, guys, we know it doesn't work like that. Girls don't come and hit on guys. It's just not what happens. So back to dating advice, right? Me and myself, what I'm learning from a relationship that I just got out of, and this is actually why I make this video, because I haven't been dating, I haven't been in a relationship for roughly maybe like a year and a half. I was in another like kind of, short-term kind of relationship. I was trying to build with the individual for maybe like 6 months. Obviously she was a lot older than me. She was 26. And yeah, she had a lot of high caliber men exposed to her. And I think I'm doing good, pulling in 20K a month. I don't know, whatever, my numbers, whatever. They fluctuate as I, have a business that I operate. But long story short, dealing with other high caliber men, temptation's real. Sometimes those women want to go interact with them, and they do. And then you guess what? If you're trying to play your cards right, you're trying to be the honest guy, and then you witness that, then it kind of triggers you to want to go meet someone else yourself, and then you continue the pattern of trying to search the world for your woman. And it's pretty hard. It's a fucking, I would say, if you're a guy, dude, that's been around multiple relationships, and if you're like somewhat of a moral base, like, you know, you're honest, bro, you're not really trying to like control or be with multiple women, like there's that aspect, that like spectrum of guys too, that just fill their life with women, just, you know, onto the next, or they got like 4 at the same time, they call them up, take them out here, take them out there, sleep with them. That's really never been me. That's not because I can't make it happen, but it's just not my interest. I've always been in a position of like kind of struggle, a position of like, I have to take care of myself. I have to think about, you know, where I'm trying to go by 25, 26, the economic position I'm trying to set myself in. You know, realistically, I'm trying to build maybe $100K a month business. So I'm not really prioritizing women right now, you know, and I haven't for quite a while, because realistically, as a guy, bro, you got to know this. Like, a woman isn't going to really provide for you, but society expects us to provide for them. So having one, yeah, is good, because it pushes you to understand the responsibility that you have to face in the future, which is providing for your woman, providing for your kids and your home. But it's hard to do as a young man right now, because you're still building yourself up and you're not at that level technically. You know, if I was making $100K a month, I think I'd think about my partner a little bit different, and I'd for sure be a little bit more, I guess you can say, not serious, but like, you know, I'd be like, I don't know, I would obviously, if I'm at that level, I would really value the person. And not that I don't value any of the people that I've been with, it's just like, I understand that there have better opportunities out there. You know, that girl that was 26, the one that I recently just got out of a relationship was like 21, but bro, she was already dating millionaires. She was already in Ferraris and Bentleys and, bro, what? Lamborghinis. Insane fucking reality, bro. Some guy sold a property on the beach he bought it for $1 million, sold it for $4.5 million. She was dating him. He spent $15,000 in Louis Vuitton on her. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I can see myself doing that too, like across my lifetime, of course. But at the same time, it's like, I'm young and I see that that was her reality. Those were her expectations. I'm like, yo, this might not be like, I don't think I can do that for her right now. So I do care about her. Like, you know, it was a lot of like real emotions that I built in trust and love. But realistically, like, I know when they have better opportunities, I at least not know, right? I think when they have better opportunities, it's less of an inclination for them to stay with you, or, you know, go through maybe rough times with you, or maybe take you as serious, right? And that was my mind. That was how I operated. And for many other guys, I'll probably be the same way, especially if you're dating attractive women that, bro, you know, they don't live in some block in LA. They don't live on some cold cul-de-sac, and all they know is that, no, like, girls that have careers, that been to colleges, that are on dating apps, that maybe have, like, you know, other friends and experiences, they're gonna meet these higher baller guys. And it's the game of finding your woman, I guess, bro. And, you know, obviously, as a man, we're always competing, bro. You have to be the guy, right? At least to, like, make her happy, or at least be able to provide. So back to this, like, as a guy, you know that a woman isn't going to provide for you. So, yeah, it's good because you build up the responsibility of knowing what it feels like to take care of someone else. And before that someone else being your kid that really has to survive, it's your girl that, hey, she has her own gig, she has her own thing going on, so she could be less of an expense, but kind of a similar experience. So it was cool, you know, like, I don't regret any of it, but I highly recommend that if you're as a young man, like, don't let a woman affect your groove, your business. Like, it's easy to, as you get emotionally attached and developed, but for me, in my experience, like, I've already been cheated on. I've already been through that side where, like, I put my kind of all into a relationship to see it kind of fumble, and it is what it is. But at the end of the day, my business was always keeping me alive. I didn't have a job. Couldn't depend on no one. Everything I had to create was for myself. I was borderline homeless. So I always had to focus more on my business than I had my relationship. So dealing with this pattern of behavior and this environment constantly being put on me, I developed kind of a less of a priority for women and more of a priority for my business. And this is how I recommend all of you guys kind of approach life as well, especially while you're young, because there's a saying out there: build a garden and you'll attract butterflies. Build a shitty garden and you'll attract flies. So building the garden is probably one of our most top priorities right now. And just be a solid guy, be kind, be loving, be sweet, you know, build business, help people. And, you know, I believe as you develop and you build your environment, like, I have a 2-bedroom apartment now. I'm not living with my mom. Like, I'm out here by myself right now at 12:23, like on a Friday night. I'm not out at a bar looking for girls. I'm not out clubbing. I'm not partying. I'm not texting multiple women. I'm just here making a YouTube video in front of all you guys. So that's kind of like how I'm at in life, you know? I'm not gay, bro. Like, I'm attracted to women, but I've learned to control my lust. I've learned to control my temptations around that, which is something that a lot of men struggle with, which is actually why I kind of want to make this video too, because that's kind of like one of the like things that, dog, a lot of guys struggle with, bro. They just have lust and they just want a woman, 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 woman. But in reality, like, the real result, the real prize in life is finding just one. Making kids, having a beautiful life. There's going to be bumps in that road, you know? Like I told you guys, like, oh my God, you might be infidelity and she might have to value whether that infidelity is worth leaving you, and she might be infidelic and then you have to value if that infidelity is worth leaving her. Or if you're just that guy that's just strict as fuck and then you see the first red flag, you get out of there, kind of like me, you know? But girls, I don't know. I ran into some that are a little bit more apologetic. But at the end of the day, every time after that, kind of like, you know, the only reason I myself have been infidelic to a woman is because I have a perception or this thought process that makes me think that they're doing something based on evidence that I've already kind of collected or seen. So then I'm always thinking like, yo, these girls are young, these girls know better men, these girls are outside. Like, bro, finding someone like me, myself, I'm a nerd, bro. I stay indoors, I do my YouTube videos, I trade stocks, I watch news and data all day. I hang out with my clients that are my only friends. I do classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Only time I have to myself, I'm in the gym. I'm probably fucking, damn, bro, like trying to resell clothes through my clothing page, texting clients on the phone, catching dinner by myself, going out to get kava, going to Barnes and Noble to buy like fucking new books. Like, that's what I do, you know? Like, oh shit, I'm not like these girls that, hey bro, they're like catching drinks, having dinner, going out to these events, you know, Airbnbs here, vacations there. Like, nah, like, I'm just pretty chill in my own zone. So like, you know, I kind of learned to like, it's hard to expect to find someone like me, and I have to adapt to like, you know, maybe, especially because like, you know, I have a type, you know, and whatever it is, those women are sought after. So adapting to that, bro, it's like, you got to deal with this sometimes. But there's a certain extent where you start like feeling like, even me, myself in this relationship, I've never really doubted myself. I never felt like less of myself until this relationship, because I knew that she was already with millionaires. She was already in fucking Lambos, Ferraris, and Bentleys. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm 23 years old. These guys are like, you know, in their 30s. She's 21. And bro, like, what the fuck? How the fuck am I ever going to compare to that? Like, it made me self-doubt myself. And that was an interesting journey in my life that I don't mind documenting and sharing with you guys, because it evolved me to become better. It evolved me to create more income. It evolved me to have less fear of technically like losing her, because I knew that no matter what, if I failed or succeeded, if I failed, she'd leave and find another rich guy or find, you know, another guy to replace me. If I succeeded, it was a matter of like, I don't know, our relationships, our bonds, our connection, to if she would stay with me or not. So no matter what, right? I knew that the odds of her leaving, especially her being younger than me, in those 2 years, so many shit can change. You know, for me, myself, when I was 21, I was head over heels over women. But now that I'm 23, like, I'm mature. Like, I know what I want. I know what I don't want. I know what I expect. I know how I have to act, and I know what, you know, I have my own experiences, my own preferences, and I also have my own objectives that, hey, I won't put anything on top of or treat as more of a priority other than that. So I know when to cut my losses. And I share this video with you guys because I've seen a lot of young men, bro, lose it all over a girl. I've seen guys go broke taking girls on dates. I've seen guys go broke taking girls on $300, $400 dinners. I've seen guys go broke buying girls things. I've seen guys go broke, like, or not even broke, like mentally destroy themselves pursuing women, or mentally, you know, like destroy themselves pursuing so many women, or harming themselves and creating a business, or using their mind more productively, more productively than chasing women. And that's a big fucking factor in your development as a young man, as you're approaching adulthood, your control, your ability to manage women, or that desire. Because I think if we're all like heterosexual and we all desire, you know, a beautiful wife, kids one day, we know that we need a woman. So it's like, we know that we need it, and then obviously, like, bro, we're young, like, fucking libido's up in the sky, like, come on, doc, we know what's up. It's always good to get that out the way. But you gotta control it, and you gotta build yourself around that discipline of just building with one and like focusing on mainly your business while you're young. But a lot of young guys don't have that discipline. They don't have that control, and they sometimes go with too many women. And I guess in my case, kind of go with too little women. Like, I have my experience on women, and I share it with you guys based on like fucking my experience with like, what, 4 or 5 girls. Like, bro, I really haven't dated a lot of women, and I'm glad I haven't, because I've heard horror stories out there. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, there's a time and place for everything. I'm not gonna say that I wish I did date more women, but I know I'm not really like missing out on anything, because no matter what, bro, like, my journey is my journey, and what I want is what I want. So I'm focused right now on building this business, SoCal Trading Group. Nothing in my life has sparked me and lit me up like a Christmas tree. Like, yeah, losing fucking 5,000, 7,000 last week. Yeah, losing $26,000 in 3 months fucking sucks. It hurts the soul. It hurts my heart. It affects my mood. But I know that I'm not going to go seek women to deal with that. You know, a lot of my journey, a lot of my trading, my profits, my business, my occupation is really kind of building me up. This YouTube journey itself is building me up, teaching me to express myself, communicate, and have less of a fear of what people think about me. It's huge. I think it's a skill set that in my 26, 30s, if I continue, it'll probably make me a very influential, very great entrepreneur. And that's why I like building it. I like sharing these stories, despite maybe them, I don't know, running into millions of people, or maybe thousands of people. Who knows? Maybe just 4 people. But it doesn't matter. Like, it's a story that I don't mind sharing and documenting to help you. Because, bro, I see it out here, fool. I see guys lose it over women. Like, sad to say, like, one of my buddies, like, closest best friend's family, his cousin, broke up with his girl. She had a kid inside of her that he didn't know about. Because they broke up, he went up to the desert, shotgun to the head, killed himself. That's how influential women are. Bro, my other friend, I'm not going to say his name, but this guy dated a girl. The girl, they got in an argument. They've been all toxic, all in and out, on and out. One day they argued. She calls the cops, says that he hit her. Motherfucker goes to jail, catches a felony for fucking domestic violence when he didn't even hit her. Insane story. And just like that, he's a felon. All for a fucking woman. So yeah, I see it, and that's why I kind of tell you guys, like, I'm glad I don't really have too much experience with women, but man, I don't know how that would affect me later on in life, and I kind of am not afraid of it, because I kind of see it already. Like, I'm not ugly, bro. I'm 6'1", all right? I'm 6'1". I got a 2-bedroom apartment in a very luxurious area. I got a nice car. I got some pretty cool shit, you know, like. Come on, dog. Like, motherfucker, my wrist is iced out, bro, with a Cartier Santos. Like, I'm pretty confident, bro. But in life, bro, there's like periods, dog. Like, I've been working on my business and my financial success since I was 17. And just until 22, I cracked like my first like $250,000, bro. And that was like a bitch and a half. Because like, I don't have a career. I don't have a job. Everything I've done has just been hustle, trading, and like grind, bruh. Like, insane. To make a $250,000 all by yourself, you know, no job, no nothing, and it took 7 years, no, like 5 years. It's pretty lame, but I haven't had no mentors, no guidance, no dad to teach me, no mom to teach me, no best friends. All of them are kind of fucking silly, bro. You know, like, I don't have guidance. So, I mean, I guess it sucks on the fucking ROI on how much I really made per year, but I don't take it for granted, because I did it all by myself. And now I see myself progressing. I see myself growing. And that's why I tell a lot of like you guys, like, bro, like, if you're young as a guy watching this, dog, you have to build yourself up. You know, it's inevitable. And bro, I'm thankful. Like, bro, I just lost $7,500. Bro, my rent was due. And thank God, bro, by the grace of God, I got 2 clients in less than 48 hours. Everything that I was fucking stressed about losing that money, went ahead and took care of it. And that was it. Like, you know, as long as I'm not touching my mother egg, I'm chilling. Another thing, bro, like, if you're a successful guy or you're making money, I think the worst thing I possibly could have done or do is talk about money. Like, I feel like unfortunately women nowadays do judge you on your status, on what you can provide. I think that's like kind of unfortunate, but it's the reality. And realistically, you know, letting a woman know your finances and your situation, at least that's what I did in my most recent relationship, I kind of regret it. Because, you know, like there's a point where I kind of just acted like I had nothing, but I did have a lot. And I kind of noticed the shift, you know, like, yeah, it was like still pretty caring and nurturing, but at the same time, I did notice like a little bit of like more disrespect and kind of like taken advantage of. And that's when I was like, whoa, like, you know, maybe it's a little bit different than what I thought. And I, you know, maybe shouldn't have painted that picture, but it is what it is. Like, it doesn't matter because I got to see like how that worked out. If I did, you know, kind of lose everything and needed that help, I wouldn't really like, I don't know. I don't know how that would have played out. It was a very interesting relationship for sure. But realistically, like, your money, bro, keep it to yourself, homie. Like, yeah, in my business, I talk about it, I share it. I guess it's probably a bad thing, but it is what it is. I don't mind being transparent with you guys, but in terms of now a relationship, like, I've seen how money impacts how a woman treats you, how it impacts a woman's thoughts of you, and it's pretty significant driving factor. So I advise you guys as a young man to kind of keep that to yourself and show little appreciation, show little acts of gratitude. And if you do, you know, are balling and you're like out there like that, don't let it be known. I feel like sometimes us as men, at least me myself, like I like letting it be known so I can assert a little bit more dominance and feel more of as a provider, but I kind of regret that. You know, I want to play it a little bit more chill. If, you know, I don't know. I don't know if I will move on. But I've learned in this relationship to play the financial side a little bit more chiller. Don't come out flashy. You know, if I gotta pull up in the Prius, I'll pull up in the Prius. At the end of the day, man, like, me, what I want out of a relationship right now, like, I will never want what I want out of a relationship unless I have what I want as a business. Like, I feel like I myself can't prioritize the relationship right now because I haven't satisfied my needs or my desire in my business. Once I satisfy my desire in my business and I built true stability, you know, stability for many individuals is different. Like for me, stability means $50,000 to $100,000 a month. I like that because now I could go travel 3 months in Bali, 3 months in Japan, 3 months in Hawaii, maybe buy a timeshare in Hawaii, buy my first home out in a lake, or buy a boat, experience the world, right? And to me, that's stability. But for many other people, stability could be like $5,000, $10,000 a month. But me, in my business, I'm trying to create this recurring revenue of 50K MRR, monthly recurring revenue of $50,000. If I can create that type of return, then maybe I'll be looking more for a relationship, you know? But I will be more quiet about what I make for sure, despite maybe my social media presence or social media giving it away. But fuck that. At the end of the day, I'm telling you guys right now, keep that low. Be settled, be humble, be sweet, be kind, trying to find happiness in the simpler things. Because especially when you go up to like attractive women and you climb up on that scale, it gets grimy, it gets ugly, bro, when you're competing against other rich guys like I was. And it's just never fulfilling, it never feels good. So I guess if you're like a hustler, young, like kind of, you know, built guy, you're not ugly, you're up there, like, and you got money, don't show it off. Be chill. Let the silence, you know, let it speak, bro. Like you don't need to show much. And I feel like I made that mistake. But that's just kind of my experience with it. Other than that, other than like jumping from woman to woman, which you guys don't want to do, my advice to keeping you guys to for sure focus on your business a little bit more than your relationship, especially if you're in a position financially where you're making less than like $15,000 a month, a relationship isn't your top priority. Because guess what? A lot of guys that I've also seen that I should add is don't have a kid so young. A lot of people go and just, you know, they want to have sex. They're all horny out the game and they go and pop a kid out of them too early in the game where you're not even making $10,000, $15,000 a month, but now you have a kid that you have to pay roughly $2,000 a month to take care of and make sure it stays alive and healthy. And guess what? On top of that, you got your girl that wants now a break. She wants to slow down because now she has a kid to take care of and it's more of her responsibility while you work. Now you're setting yourself back financially when you haven't even been financially free yet. So that's a huge one. Watch the kids, bro. That's no joke. I feel like, unfortunately, in middle income, lower income environments, a lot of people take the kids for granted. They don't ever stop and think that this is the prized possession of your existence on planet Earth. It's you taking this child to make a fucking stud, make a better 200, 300%. A Jerry Trades 3.0 will come out of me, or I don't know. I didn't want to call him Jerry. I wanted to call my son Odin. I like that name. Or, you know, a woman, like, damn, I haven't thought about the girl name, but the girl name, you know, either it be a girl or not, like, I want her to be smart. I want her to be strong. I want her to be confident. I want her to be, like, you know, educated. I want her to know that the world isn't rainbows and sunshine, but I want her to be kind and nice enough to people in this world before she goes, because of how fucked up it already is. So that's what I kind of, you know, advise to you guys in the kid aspect. It's like, bro, this is a big responsibility. And if you have kids, more than ever, you have to go ahead and go hard. More than ever, you have to focus on a business, despite maybe having problems with that, you know, initial carrier of your baby or your initial relationship that you're in. So despite all of that, prioritize those kids if you already have them. Treat the business more serious, treat your money investing more serious, because you can't afford to not take it serious anymore. But a lot of guys out there that are young, that are just dating and haven't had the kids, bro, please, if you're not making 15 to 10K a month, bro, don't even think about it, bro. Don't think about it, because you're just gonna, man, you're gonna put yourself through it's not gonna, hold on. Never shy of responsibility, but also understand responsibility. So don't shy from it if you are in that position and think you have to now feel bad for yourself. No, just go harder. But if you are, you know, in that position and you know it's happening, like, same thing. You got to prioritize it. Like me, I work so hard and I want to create that 50K MRR because I know I want a family. I know I want to provide for my kids. I know that me as a family, I want my family to be able to travel, go hiking, take camping trips, you know, bro, go see the Great Wall of China together, go take pictures at the Eiffel Tower, you know, like go maybe see Mount Kilimanjaro, you know, maybe snorkel the Great Barrier Reef. Like, that's the experiences that I desire out of life with my family. And, well, realistically, in my environment, at least my upbringing, and I noticed it takes a decent amount of money to do stuff like that when you're not trying to stress, you know, your health insurance, stress your home, you're not trying to stress your cars, you're not trying to stress, you know, your bills, your rent, your cell phone. Like, all that crap is like small fish kind of stresses that even as you develop into middle fish, if you continue to upgrade your lifestyle, it still becomes a stress. Like, for me, I can't say that, hey, I'm not like, I don't know, I'm not stressed about it, but at the same time, I recognize there is a sense of pressure that, hey, I have to make a minimum of 6 to be able to clear just my cost of living. So I tell you guys this because it's like noticing where you want to be and how much your business has to create on top of that. So me, knowing that, you know, is what I want, and I don't want to decrease my lifestyle and still want to be active like that, still acquire real estate properties and get into real estate development and get into, you know, that game of real estate investing, I also do need more on the side to like eventually play 2-3 properties at the same time. So yeah, like, I understand the life that I'm seeking, and I know the MRR that I need to be creating every single month to get me there. And that's still pretty shy. 50K MRR, like, in the grand scheme of business, like if we look at Alex Hormozy level, it's really small business numbers. Like, Alex Hormozy only takes on clients that are doing maybe, I don't know, like 10 mil a year. So that's already a way higher MRR than fucking 50K. So, you know, building a 10 million a year brand or a personal brand or a 20 million a year, you know, business, it's not easy. But hey, I'm okay with targeting 50K by 24, or, you know, fuck it, 24. And then by 25, 26, now I'm doing maybe 100K, 250K a month with the personal brand, you know, helping individuals out. Because this is what I like. I found out what I love at 23 years old, and it's to help people, to help younger men, because I know what it was like growing up without a dad. I know what it was like growing up, you know, without my mom really being able to teach me or help me, and always warning me about women steering me away from them because she didn't want me to get a girl knocked up and ruin my life like my dad did. So yeah, that's kind of, I guess, why I also don't really chase women too much now that I say it. But to end the story, I recognize that it's like a really huge responsibility when you're getting into like building yourself up as a young man and teaching yourself, you know, when you don't have all this help. And I see the world, I see my environment, I see 23, 22-year-olds that are around me that don't have that guidance, don't have that help. And I don't know. I don't know. I feel it in me. I love that God's given me the ability to talk, walk, present this, communicate, and share my ideas with people, speak my mind, and align with others and help others. Because that's what I've done across SoCal Trading Group, across my whole fucking personal brand that I built now. And it's gotten me where I am today. And where I am today is way better than when I was 17. So it's been cool to watch it play out, and I found out what I love, and it's the personal branding, it's the social media, it's the consulting, the mentorship. I love doing that for people. You know, building on my sales team. I'll make another video on this tomorrow. I just started my sales team with SoCal Trading Group, and taking on my sales guys, I feel like they're my kids, bro. I feel like I'm dealing with 18, 19, 20-year-olds that are just younger versions of me that I want to see start making 20K, 25K a month. Just let them live, bro. Like, if you want to have a beautiful woman, you want to get your own apartment, drive a nice car, I want that for you too. Like, let's come get some money, you know, and make it happen for you. And doing that, has brought nurturing out of me, brought that emotion of nurturing and caring out of me for my students. And bro, it's been one hell of a journey, you know, to see all my students, and more so my sales guys, you know, also taking on my sales guys grow. But I guess my students, mentoring them in trading as well, is that same feeling. When I have these classes and I'm there presenting to people in person or online, I talk with so much passion, so much conviction, because I know the mistakes I've made. Clearly, me losing $5,500 is significant. Those guys lose $5,500, we have a serious problem. So I make sure that they learn from my mistakes, and I give them the advice necessary to avoid making those mistakes, because I know what they cost me. I know how much they hurt. So yeah, I feel like this journey of self-development and being in this niche in this business has really aligned with me, and I'm glad I have found it so young in my life, and I hope to push it further. But woman is a pretty big fucking part of this journey, bro. You know, you can't chase just money, because then when you buy a house, it won't be a home. You need a family to make a house a home. No matter how big that house is or how small it is, it won't feel like a home without some people you love in it. So don't wait till you're 30, 40 to find people you love to fill it up with, because by then, you know, those people have more experiences. Those girls have been around even more. And you're starting a relationship with 2-3 years of knowing that person. Obviously, in every relationship, no matter what you do, there's going to be hiccups. So if I start dating in my 30s and we have hiccups in 23 years, 4 years down the line, now I got to start again at 34. I'm running out of time. I'm becoming an old unk. Can't be doing that, you know, but at the same time, you got to prioritize the business so you can create the garden to have that type of woman and build with that woman. And I guess have some sort of have the woman respect you to a sense where she knows hey, I love this guy for who he is. He's funny, he's cool, and he can help me if God forbid anything happens to me, and I'm okay with helping him. God forbid anything happens to him. Creating a relationship like that, it's a gold mine, and it's very hard to find, but I really do believe that's the divine essence of a true relationship. And I think that's what, you know, it's the journey to find. But when you find it, guys, just know it's a sweet ride home. But always, bro, as a man, you gotta wear the cojones, dog. You gotta make sure you put the numbers up, and you know, you're honest, you're solid, you're a good dude. You know, you're gonna make mistakes, because I've made mistakes with infidelity, a whole bunch of crap. You know, communication, prioritizing business over my own relationship. I made all those mistakes. I'm just glad I made them young. It's making them in my 30s, 40s when it really matters, or hopefully, you know, I don't gotta wait till then and I can, you know, find my relationship, I don't know, whenever God has it for me. But I hope to take these lessons and apply them, and everything that I've told you guys today, it's fucking helped me when I get there. So I hope it helps you guys. And remember, bro, if you're young, stay the hell out of trouble. Try not to have a kid. Run up the money. Be safe out here, bro. And damn, just keep fucking grinding. And I'm telling you, best piece of advice is work to build the garden so you attract butterflies. Because if you don't build the garden, you'll attract flies. Free game, Jerry Trades. I hope you guys enjoy the dating advice for early 20s. Over and out.